Sani Hassana from the Department of Masters of Epidemiology, University of Diponegoro University, Samarang. I would want to talk about management mitigation by China, that's management of disaster mitigation. This is an assignment submitted to Budi Laksono, one of the lecturers in Masters of Epidemiology. Now, what do we start? We start with what is disaster?
Now, what is disaster?
What is disaster?
Disaster,
The
as
World
defined
Health
by the
Organization
World
defines
Health
disaster.
Organization, is any occurrence that causes damage, ecological disruption, loss of human life, deterioration of health and health services on a scale sufficient to warrant an extraordinary response from outside the affected community or area. Disasters are of two types. It could be natural, such as tsunami, flood, or earthquake. It could also be artificial or man-made, such as chemical and biological disasters, as an example in the biological war front. Moving forward, disaster management is the discipline of dealing with and avoiding risk. It involves preparing for disaster before it occurs. Disaster response, such as emergency evacuation and supporting and rebuilding societies, etc. Emergency management cycle involve different steps. We have the preparedness, response, recovery, and mitigation. This, you have to prepare first. When the disaster occurs, you respond in order to give room for recovery of affected individuals, and we now plan the mitigation techniques and strategies. Also, we have mitigation. What is mitigation? Mitigation is actually the effort taken to reduce loss of life and property by lessening the impact of disaster, since it can happen at any time, any place, and if not prepared, consequences could be fatal. During disasters, a lot of safety precautions could be taken. These include locating a safety point within the house in which every member of the house knows where the safety point is in order to be able to converge at such point when there is a disaster occurrence. Emergency items such as food, water and clothing and first aid kits should be maintained at arm's length where everybody can reach it at any point in time. Also, it is advised that areas that are prone to disasters, people living in such areas should endeavor to listen to TVs, radios, and update their community on warning system. They should also know the nearest shelters available in the community, not just in the house, in order to get there during a disaster for safety. During an earthquake, a very safety precaution to take: you can kneel, sit, stay close to the floor, or just get under a table or a furniture, holding firm to the leg of the furniture for balance, and be ready to move when it moves. In a case where there is no furniture available, you just lie on the floor or sit near a structurally sound interior wall and place your hands on the floor for balance. Disconnect all electrical appliances and put off the gas in the kitchen or any other part of the house. For the cases of people living in flood prone areas should build houses with good materials such as local bricks instead of muds, which are easily swept up during flood. They are also advised to drink boiled water at all times instead of drinking ordinary water that could actually open them to other health issues such as diarrhea and the rest. For landslides, it is advised that people that stay where in areas that are prone to landslides, when such landslides occur, they should stay away from such areas and make sure to help victims from afar, only directing safety personnel to such victim instead of going to help a victim and you end up being a second victim. These are some of the precautions to take during a disaster.
We can't stop natural disasters, but we can prepare for them. And in preparing for them, we limit the damage they inflict and save lives. DIPECO, which is a part of the European Commission's Directorate General for Humanitarian Aid, focuses on disaster preparedness. It supports several organizations in India whose work involves reducing the risk of disasters. How does one prepare for disaster? By keeping important documents safe, ensuring emergency rations are at hand, identifying safety zones and routes, teaching villagers search and rescue techniques as well as first aid, creating temporary shelters, arranging for safe water. UNICEF's community-based disaster preparedness program is making a difference in the lives of 27 million people in 7 districts of West Bengal by changing their mindsets, reducing their dependence on outside sources, and making them self-reliant. This was a coconut plantation in the Andaman Islands before being hit by the Asian tsunami of 2004. In response to the tsunami, CARE works in 100 villages here in areas such as teaching villagers life-saving skills and raising awareness among school children about how to respond when disaster strikes. You're never too young to know how you can save yourself and your community. That's what Focus, an affiliate of the Aga Khan Development Network, is doing in Gujarat through creating a culture of safety in schools. This involves training both teachers and students, forming school emergency committees, and drawing out detailed disaster management plans. Knowledge sharing was the aim of this workshop, organized by the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies. 17 countries from Asia and Africa met to share experiences on how to build safer communities at risk from natural disasters. This young boy and this hearing impaired woman are among over 400 people with disabilities who have been provided with aid so that they can be active participants in disaster risk reduction activities. Handicap International is training both individuals and communities in Orissa, West Bengal and the Andaman and Nicobar Islands on disaster preparedness with a special emphasis on disability. Can this evil eye ward off a flood caused by a glacial lake outburst? Obviously not, which is why UNDP is implementing a risk reduction initiative in the Himalayas in Bhutan, India, Nepal and Pakistan. The project focuses on raising awareness and training communities on early warning systems, evacuation, safe shelters, land use management and many such relevant issues. Emergency mock drills and forming community task forces are just some of the things that Trocare Catholic Relief Services does in 75 villages along Orissa's coastal belt to help them face perennial floods. The project also works on strengthening links between the villagers and the administration and pays special attention to the most vulnerable members in the community. Over 6,000 students and teachers in Himachal Pradesh and India are being made aware of earthquake safety under this Christian aid project implemented by SEEDS. In a region defined as a very high damage risk zone, over 80,000 people stand to benefit directly from the project through training on various aspects of disaster preparedness. Welthunger Health works with 7 communities in West Bengal and Orissa where natural disasters are a way of life. By raising awareness about preparedness through innovative programs such as drawing competitions and magic shows, by organizing trainings of different types, Welt believes that people are beginning to understand that active participation from the community can indeed solve local problems. In India, the media plays a significant role in informing and entertaining the masses, even in the remotest areas of the country. As a result, mass media can play a key role in awareness raising about how to prepare for disaster. The BBC World Service Trust is training the government, NGOs and media professionals on how best to use the media to save lives in the disaster-prone states of Orissa and West Bengal. It's through efforts such as these that DIPECO and its partners aim to mitigate the fury of natural disasters. Together, we can prepare the world for a safer future.
Thank you for watching my video. Make sure you subscribe, like and stay tuned to this because more are to come in the future. Bye.